Lebanon, an Arab republic on the eastern shores of the Mediterranean Sea, and the only Middle Eastern country with a large Christian community. It is bounded on the north and east by Syria, and on the south by Israel. Lebanon is a narrow strip of land dominated by the Lebanon Mountains, for which it is named. The country is about 130 miles long and 20 to 60 miles wide, and has an area of 4,015 square miles. Lebanon is divided into 5 provinces: Beirut and the immediate environs of the capital city, Mount Lebanon, North Lebanon, and South Lebanon, which lie along the Mediterranean and include the Lebanon Mountains, and the Bekaa, which encompasses the valley between the Lebanon and Anti-Lebanon Mountains, and which in antiquity was known as Chloe Syria or Hollow Syria. Population. In 1985, the population of Lebanon was estimated at 2,619,000. There were an estimated 347,000 Palestinian Arab refugees in Lebanon in 1982. The capital and largest city, Beirut, had an estimated population of 509,000 in 1982, and the Beirut metropolitan area had 1,675,000 inhabitants. The 3 next largest urban centers are Tripoli, a Mediterranean oil pipeline terminal and port in northern Lebanon, with an estimated 109,000 people; Saida or Sidon, a port and Mediterranean pipeline terminal in the south, with an estimated population of 105,000, and Zaleh in the central Bekaa provinces with about 45,000 inhabitants. Ethnic origins and language. The Lebanese are a Semitic people, descended from the ancient Canaanites, Arameans, and Arabs, with a mixture of non-Semitic conquering peoples: Hittites, Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans of the pre-Christian era. Throughout history, there has been a slow but steady influx of families and tribes from the Arabian desert into the Lebanon region. This phenomena has served to maintain a strong cultural tie between the Lebanese and the desert Arab. And because of this, the Lebanese today are an Arab people. Arabic is the national language spoken in a number of local dialects. About 6% of the population is Armenian speaking. Some of the churches use Syriac in their liturgies, and a few of the people speak it. Religion. Since Lebanon was for so many centuries the connecting link between the West on the one hand and Iraq, Iran, and other parts of Asia on the other, as well as between Asia Minor and Palestine, Egypt and Africa, it is not surprising that the Lebanese follow many divergent religions. Furthermore, the Lebanon mountains, with their many valleys difficult of access, have been such a refuge for persecuted sects that a variety of small religious sects have survived. In the absence of a full-scale census since 1932, All that can be said concerning the distribution of religious adherents is that the population is nearly one-half Christians, on the one hand, and slightly more than one-half Muslim and Druze on the other. Of the Christians, the Maronites, who constitute a separate rite within the Roman Catholic Church, form more than half, and the rest are Orthodox Byzantine Rite Catholics, or Mellites and Armenian Gregorians. Among the Muslims, the Shiites are believed to outnumber the Sunnis. The Druze number about 211,000, but exert a political influence far greater than indicated by their numbers. There were about 1,000 Jews living in Beirut in 1980.
Phoenicia, origins and relations with Egypt. The evidence of tools found in caves along the coast of Lebanon shows that the area was inhabited from the Paleolithic through the Neolithic periods. Village life followed the domestication of plants and animals. The Nulastic Revolution after about 10,000 BC, with Byblos, modern Jubiel, apparently taking the lead. At this site also appear the first traces in Lebanon of pottery and metallurgy, first copper, then bronze. By the 4th millennium BC, the Phoenicians, indistinguishable from the Canaanites of Palestine, probably arrived in the land that became Phoenicia. A Greek term applied to the coast of Lebanon. In about 3000 BC, Herodotus and other classical writers preserve a tradition that they came from the coast of the Persian Gulf, but in fact, nothing certain is known of their original homeland. The remains of Phoenician cities along the coast of Lebanon bear witness to the important role they played as a meeting place for East and West, focal points for diffusion of culture in the ancient world. The Phoenician cities did not seek political advantages. Their interest was trade. They cared little for political unity. They sought only to establish a commercial empire. Headlands, projection into the sea, cut the coastland into a number of small plains. The topography of the land was unfavorable to unity and a strongly centralized government. Thus, the history of each Phoenician city-state ran its own independent course. Except at Byblos, no excavations have produced any information concerning the 3rd millennium in Phoenicia before the advent of the Phoenicians. At Byblos, the first urban settlement is dated 3050–2850 BC. Commercial and religious connections, probably by sea, with Egypt are attested from the Egyptian 4th dynasty, 2613–2494 BC. The earliest artistic representations of Phoenicians are found in a damaged relief at Memphis of Pharaoh Sahur of the 5th dynasty, earlier 25th century BC. This shows the arrival of an Asiatic princess to be the pharaoh's bride. Her escort is a fleet of seagoing ships, probably of the type known to the Egyptian as Byblos ships, named by the crews of Asiatics, evidently Phoenicians. Byblos was destroyed by fire about 2150 BC, probably by the invading Amorites. The Amorites rebuilt on the site, and a period of close contact with Egypt was begun. Costly gifts were given by the pharaohs to those Phoenician and Syrian princes, such as the rulers of Ugarit and Ketna, who were loyal to Egypt. Whether this attests to Egypt's political dominion over Phoenicia at this time or simply to strong diplomatic and commercial relations is not entirely clear. According to Britannica Encyclopedia, Volume 22. Byblos Jubiel. It's one of the oldest continuously inhabited towns in the world. The name Byblos is a Greek. Papyrus received its early Greek name from the fact that it was exported to the Aegean through Byblos. Hence the English word Bible is derived from Byblos as the papyrus book. Systematically, excavations were begun at Byblos by Pierre Montet in 1921. In 1926, Maurice Dunant resumed the work and continued it for many years. The excavations revealed that Byblos was occupied at least by the Nulastic period, 8000 to 4000 BC, and that during the 4th millennium BC, an extensive settlement developed. Because Byblos was the chief harbor for the export of cedar and other valuable wood to Egypt, it soon became a great trading center. It was called Kubana in ancient Egyptian and Gubla in Akkadian, the language of Assyria. Egyptian monuments and inscriptions found on the site attest to close relations with the Nile Valley throughout the second half of the 2nd millennium. During Egypt's 12th dynasty, 1991-1786 BC, Byblos again became an Egyptian dependency, and the chief goddess of the city, Baalit, the mistress, with her well-known temple at Byblos, was worshipped in Egypt. After the collapse of the Egyptian New Kingdom in the 11th century BC, Byblos became the foremost city of Phoenicia. Byblos has held almost all of the known early Phoenician inscriptions, most of them dating to the 10th century BC. By that time, however, the Sidonian kingdom, with its capital at Tyre, had become dominant in Phoenicia. And Byblos, though it flourished into Roman times, never recovered its former supremacy. The Crusaders captured the town in 1103 and called it Gubelet, but they later lost it to the Ayyubid Sultan Saladin in 1189. The ruins today consist of the Crusaders' ramparts and gate, a Roman colonnade and a small theater, Phoenician ramparts, 3 major temples, and a necropolis.